Bentley began their journey back in 1918. Everything from classic coach-built vehicles back to their roots of Mulliner, which, believe it or not, can be traced back to around 1700. But it started to massively change when Bentley became part of the VW group. This first graced the doors in around 2000, and it's the Bentley Continental GT. Welcome to Planet Auto. Now, where do you start with a car like this? Yes, it's handcrafted. Exquisite craftsmanship, a superior build. It's not going to suit everybody's budget, especially this one, because this has got Mulliner additions as well, which means it's got hand stitching, it's got different finishes.
First off, apologies for the storm. The heavy winds made filming somewhat challenging. However, it didn't detract from the beauty that is the Bentley Continental GT and the exhilaration this car brought. Therefore, the only solution was for me to bring the specs for this quintessentially British car, which as you can see is far from standard. This is the third generation with Mulliner options, and it's a V8 with an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, and it's all-wheel drive. The exterior is Titan grey with black line specification, and we have the 21-inch 5 tri-spoke wheels, although you can choose some others. Inside, it's got a duotone cabin with beluga and saddle leather, and the console and fascias are made with copperstone veneer. Now, that veneer is not the only option on this car. It's also got mood lighting, a front seat comfort spec, a premium name audio system, a Bentley rotating display, and a touring spec which gives you a heads-up display, adaptive cruise control, and more. And in case you want to get your hands on one, our model retails for just under £200,000 and comes with a 3-year warranty and unlimited mileage.
You can hardly say that the Continental GT is a standard car by any means, and I suppose that's what sells Bentley. It's not just a car, it's an experience. When you get Mulliner involved, then literally the world is your lobster. You can pretty much tailor everything on the car. Colour palettes, emblems in the seats, you name it. We've just been around the factory and we've seen what goes into one of these, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. You can literally see where every penny goes. 550 PS. It pulls 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. So it's a V8, it's 4 litre, and it's twin turbocharged. But the thing about a car like this is the way it puts the power down. It doesn't scrabble for grip, it just pins and goes. It looks like the perfect GT car. It's not overly aggressive, it just looks tasteful. It's not really changed shape, but that's a good thing. It's classic design language. There's nothing ostentatious about it, it just looks essentially coach built. The shaping on the wings, the shaping on the bumper. Nothing's too garish, even the grille. It's all very subtly done. But that's the other thing. You could get a tailored stripe at the bottom in, say, orange, or a surround here, or you could go for a different grille. You can tailor this car as you see fit. 10-pot calipers, 24-inch wheels. You can literally do what you want if you've got the money. Bentley have a rather wise way of doing things. They literally say, right, okay, you've ordered your car, why don't you come to the factory and have a look round? And 9 times out of 10, the purchaser will take one look and go, actually, I'd prefer that addition, that addition, that addition, and that addition. And then when they walk out, they'll buy some luggage, and obviously a sporty jacket to suit their new car. So it's tech loaded, it's safety loaded, it's got everything singing and dancing. Just wait until we open the door. Speaking of those, they're frameless. The sides, simple yet elegant. You've got these side skirts here, but they're just subtly styled. The air intake's here. You get soft close. Of course it has. Keyless centric. This isn't what you'd call typically standard Bentley. You've got extras like the Mulliner finishes, but it's exquisitely finished. When you climb into a Bentley, it's something special. There's only a handful of vehicles that are finished to this level. It's got a lovely driving position. And just look at this centre console. Plush leathers and more of the stone. Literally everything is wrapped in either chrome. I mean, this says it all. Handcrafted by Bentley Motors, Limited, Crewe, England. And that's going to be the birthplace of the first electric Bentleys. So that means many Bentley employees have got jobs for years to come. Great news. You can see you've got these piano black buttons here. Everything is just look at the stalks, paddles, Don't get me started on this door card. We've even got the uprated name sound system. Finally, look at that power tailgate button. It's the kind of thing you'd find in a stately home. I mean, some of this stitching's machined, but a fair chunk of it is actually hand stitched. You're encapsulated once you set foot inside. It's essentially a cockpit. Leather wraps around you. And if you feel this, that's the thing, I can't really describe it. I suppose the closest I can get is feeling a piece of slate, but with all the rough edges sanded out. And we've seen this manually sanded today at the factory. Rotaries, well, solid. Everything's got great feel of quality to it. You've got the touches like the classic Bentley clock, 1919. Everything's straightforward to use. Yes, we've got an electronic handbrake. I mean, we all love a manual, but it makes perfect sense to have one, especially with the auto box, which is seamless, as you'll see from the driving section. Rotary dial, this is your driving mode. 3-stage heated seats and vents, nice and straightforward to use. As for the shifter. The other thing about the interiors is you don't need to go for a finish like this. You could go for a polished effect, and it could be two-tone, and it could have, say, sequoia tree. When you fire the Continental GT up, this lifts, this bursts into light. You can see you've got your heads-up display with the navigation. Everything's nice and straightforward to read. You find the controls on the seat. It's simple to set. You've got the electronic steering wheel adjustment here. Infotainment system, decent size, and the fact that it's hidden under here just keeps it such a clean design. Very straightforward to use, responsive, and rotaries for your volume. That's it. Bentley have been clever. They've left the functionality in. It's nice to simplify, but it's not nice to oversimplify. People like rotaries, especially people who own Bentleys, and it just adds to the experience. You've got your climate control here, multi-zone, etc, etc. You've even got cup holders. Even the quality of the hinges. Smooth movement. I could spend hours just talking about this. Just take my word for it, the refinement is something else. So, storage points under here, 12 volt USBs, and wide enough for you and your passenger. Comfortable seats, headroom, absolutely no problem at 6'3". You can get massaging seats in the front and the rear. And I love the perforated leather plush roof. Wow. When it comes to the rear, that's as beautiful as the front. It's finished to the same level. So there's no shirking on the door cards. It's exactly this quilted finish. Everything is just, it's exquisite. Even the shaping brings you into the car. Center section, and yes, like the front, you can tailor pretty much everything. You can put screens in, you can have massage, you can have heat. Yet again, it's the perfect experience travelling in the rear of one of these, as much as it is in the front. There's not many cars that you can say that about. You feel, I suppose it's almost like one with the car. Right, let's go and take a look at the boot and see if this is the kind of car that you can go on, say, one of those weekend jaunts. The coupe is always going to work in my book. The thing about this is it looks so commanding. The flared arches. It looks to me like we've got a rear spoiler, so the likelihood is this activates. LED rear lenses, 360 camera. It has so much tech as standard. Power tailgate, perfect. Just look at this. The levels that they go to when they build this car. I mean, they've even hidden the struts, carpeted the top of the boot. It's lovely and plush. You've got the Bentley kit here. And then, if we lift this up, that's where your battery is. And there's your inflation kit. Everything is just, well, it's remarkably good. And there's the sub. So you'll get a couple of suitcases in there, or your week shop. Yeah, it's not the biggest boot, but that's not what this car's for. It's for touring the continent. It's for seeing what 550 horses will do on the Autobahn. Welcome behind the wheel of arguably the most powerful and fastest car I have ever driven. The Bentley Continental GT. Under the bonnet we've got a 4-litre V8 twin turbo, and it pulls 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds. 550 PS. So yeah, in old school terms, that's about 550 horses. Now, you've got all these big numbers, power, torque, etc, etc, but the thing that stands out the most about this car is that. There's hardly any sound, and it's an experience like no other. So this is all-wheel drive. When you put it in sport, it makes it rear-wheel drive bias. So you can have some real fun in it. You can tell it's got air suspension. Everything is just ironed out, isn't it?
It's so smooth.
There's no body roll. It just moves enough to be comfortable. It's like travelling on a cloud. But I can change that with a flick of the switch. If I rotate this dial, I've got sport, comfort and custom. Let's change to comfort. I'm getting 26.2 to the gallon.
I was going to say, that's a step up on Lady Dorothy, actually.
I could get used to this. The ride, it's like travelling on a cloud, isn't it?
It's more than that. It's a completely different universe.
It is. I do like Bentley. It's so smooth, the transmission too. It's got everything you need.
400.
Just listen to that burble.
Wow.
It feels...
At the roundabout, take the third
It's
exit.
so sure of itself.
Entrance D.
Wow!
U-turn after 400 yards. Continue to follow the B5074.
Just look at the smile
Ooh.
on her face.
Yeah, I'm trying to be descriptive about this, and all I can do is grin like a Cheshire cat, because there's very few times that you get behind the wheel of something this ferocious. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be such a manageable car. You put it in comfort mode and it just transforms it. That high resolution on that camera. 360, not surprising. Felt the parking brake apply itself there. Well, it doesn't have a problem, does it? Putting its power down. Right, should we try sport quickly? So this is sport mode. I'm going to grip the steering wheel. So we're travelling at 30. See how long it takes to hit 60. Let's make sure there's nothing on the road. 60!
Whoa.
You can't beat a V8.
After 400
That
yards,
was
leave the
raw, wasn't it?
roundabout at the third exit and
I love how intuitive it is to just change the driving modes. It's so simple. And the fact that this is where your engine start stop is as well. Such a refined drive. Cabin noise, pretty much nothing. Yeah, a bit of tyre noise, but kind of comes with the territory with 21-inch wheels. Oh, that step down from the burblage of the V8 is the whole package.
make a U-turn now and
That's
continue
it. The
to
thing about
follow
Bentley is it
the
really justifies its money, doesn't it? The way
Without a doubt.
the craftsmanship, the way it's put together, the mechanics, the engineering, the tech.
Continue to follow
I mean, this is kitted out left, right and centre. Safety that, well, phenomenal.